BoxingVoice.com live with Tyson Fury here in New York in preparation for the Fury versus Cunningham press conference. Tyson, how you doing today?
I'm all right, but I'm a bit blind with that camera in my eyes.
I do apologize about that, but we need to get the perfect lighting for such a perfect fighter. I mean, look, I know these other guys have interviewed you and no softball questions, no softball answers. I know you. We've interviewed you before. Give me your honest thoughts on what you've seen happen to what was building up to be your nemesis in the UK with David Price and Tony Thompson.
Well, what I saw was a pensioner come over to the UK who was ready to retire and take out a so-called world beater in David Price. But I told everybody all along that he was a phony, a fraud, that he was no good. But, you know, nobody wants to listen to me because, after all, I know nothing. So, you know, it just goes to show how right I was about David Price. Useless bum.
Now, Tony Thompson went ahead and handled your light work, paved the road a bit easier for you for a title fight with one of the Klitschko brothers. Clearly you have Steve Cunningham in the way of that, but anybody that knows boxing knows that you should steamroll Steve Cunningham without any problem. I mean, you don't get very much credit for what you did to Chisora when he was an undefeated fighter, and Chisora was a bigger man, stronger man than Steve Cunningham. How do you predict this fight? How do you see it playing out?
You know, I've got to give Steve Cunningham credit, you know, for taking this fight. Because let's face it, he's a lot smaller man than I am. But let's face it, he's got more skill than Derek Chisora will ever know how to have. He's been a world champion before, so it could be one of my hardest fights, you know. But I'm here to impress. Tyson Fury Roadshow is in town, and I'm going to do a demolition job on Steve Cunningham come April 20th.
And that's exactly what the U.S. fight fans want to see. You know, we're waiting for someone 6'9", who has the heart and definitely the attitude that you have, the bashfulness to take on the Klitschko and rid us of these guys. I mean, they have dominantly bored the heavyweight division to sleep. What is Tyson Fury? I mean, first name Tyson, last name Fury. It's like you were born to do this. What are you going to do for the heavyweight division? How are you going to bring that back to marquee value? Bring it back to HBO? What's the plans for Tyson Fury for the heavyweight division?
I'll tell you how I'm going to do that. I'm just going to be me. And that is just going to be enough to do it. You know, after Cunningham, all things going well, I'm going on a Klitschko bitch hunt, yeah? I'm going to hunt him down all over the world and I'm going to force him to fight. And if he doesn't want to fight, which I don't think he does, then I'm going to make him relinquish the titles. And I'm going to fight the next challenger available to fight for them titles. Like you said, these guys have bored the heavyweight division for too long. I'm sick to death of hearing about a Klitschko. You know, who wants to be like a Klitschko? Which kid do you know grows up wanting to be like a Klitschko? Nobody. But you know, the heavyweight boxing world championship used to be the biggest goal in sport, and I'm here to bring that back. And when Tyson Fury has that, everybody's going to know who the world heavyweight champion is.
Assuming all things go well, as I believe they will, you get the win. Could this be the beginning of Tyson Fury fighting in the United States? Or would you go back and fight in your home country? Or do you want to stay here on U.S. soil and make a name for yourself in the United States? Get on these U.S. television networks.
Yeah, you know, all the greats have crossed the pond and come over to America, you know. Especially New York. If I can make it here, I can make it anywhere. So, you know, I'm here, and hopefully the fight fans like what they see, and I'll come back, and I'm taking on all comers. Deontay Wilder, Seth Mitchell, Brian Jennings, Tony Thompson, Chris Arreola, Bermane Stiverne, all of them. Bring them on. You line them up, and I'll knock them down.
All right, now talk to us about training. You transitioned from the UK to Canada to get acclimated to the time zone. Canada and US, same time zone. I wanted to know how things are going. What sort of sparring does a guy 6'9" get? How do you find someone to really test you in the gym?
You know, like you say, it's hard to find sparring partners for me as I go through them like teddy bears. But you know, it's even harder to find someone like Steve Cunningham, because where do you find a fight like Steve Cunningham? You know, he's a skinny guy in shape. awkward. So you need to find somebody like that who moves, you know, and there's not many guys like that. So there you have it.
All right, well, thank you very much. Press conference is going to start, and then we'll see you soon.